What's up, Warrior Babes? Hey, everybody. Nikki here. What's up? Welcome to our Sunday Warrior Babe Revolution rally call. It is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Super stoked to be here with you guys. Hope you guys are having an awesome day so far. Hope you guys are staying cool. If it's really hot where you are, I know it's super hot in the majority of the states right now, which, let me just give you a friendly reminder, can really contribute to feeling tired and fatigued, which is something that I'm commonly hearing from a lot of babes this week. So just be aware that could be causing the fatigue and tiredness with you guys. So make sure you're staying hydrated. Anyway, we will get started in just a few minutes. So you guys, this is going to be a great topic. Last week I talked about macros. You know, I heavily usually do this around mindset. So today I'm going to trickle in some workout information, some cardio information, which is going to be fire, and bring a lot of value to you guys. A lot of light bulbs are probably going to go off. So go leave a comment inside the Facebook community and let the other Warrior Babes know in the group that this call is getting started and they want to hop in now. Just leave a comment. Say rally call is live. Tune in. All right, and then before I do dive into it, I want to give a huge welcome to all of the new Warrior Babes who have joined us in this past week. Our community is seriously growing. It's reaching new heights every single day. You guys who are new are a part of thousands of women who are getting toned and becoming stronger, more confident versions of themselves. Warrior Babe is where strong is the new sexy. So welcome, you guys. I'm super stoked for you to be a part of this amazing community, super inspiring, super motivating, super supportive, which is so cool. Not something that I commonly see in the fitness world inside the community. So our community is fire, and I love it. So welcome to all the new babes. If you guys are new, we do these calls every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys mark your calendars. Make sure you guys set your alarms. And really quick before we do start, just want to make sure that all the new babes, you guys are getting your daily emails with one task to complete. It's in video format, and then there's a page where you can print out like documents and all this kind of stuff that will help you transition into this lifestyle. I call it the blast off, the Warrior Babe blast off emails. They're so important as you transition into this lifestyle, as you get used to my language, as you get used to how Warrior Babes communicate, how we thrive, how we stay motivated. Those are really important. They're coming to you for the first 14 days. And second thing is, before I dive into this topic, is please don't be the person to ask questions that can be answered inside the application. You know, take the time to search there and listen through everything that I'm sharing with you. And if the question that you are seeking is not answered, then go into our frequently asked questions resource page, which is a page, an entire platform with all of our most frequently asked questions. And it's something that my team is updating every single month with new articles, new questions that we get, and more in-depth answers that you can always use that place as a resource for. All right? If your questions can't be answered in the app, or they're not answered on the FAQs, then head into the Facebook community and ask your fellow Warrior Babes. And tag Kate. Kate is our community manager inside the Revolution, and she is there to help you guys with any questions that you have. She's in there 24/7. Not 24/7. She's in there every single day, and she's getting back to any questions that you guys have her tagged in. All right, so that's the area to get your questions answered. And then, of course, attending the Q&A on Wednesdays. That's really important, you guys. Show up to the Q&As on Wednesdays and be involved on the Q&A. That's a really valuable tool to get your questions answered that you need clarification on. So I don't know why more of you guys aren't involved in that, but it's really freaking important to get in there and get your questions answered in direct communication. Like, you're able to see me, I'm able to answer your questions. All right, so those are really valuable resources for you guys to use here inside the inside of this revolution. All right, inside the Warrior Babe Revolution. All right, babes, did you guys let the group know that this call is, we're going to get started pretty much like right now? Are you guys ready? This is going to be a really good call right now. So last week, like I said, I talked about macros. This week I usually talk about mindset, but right now I want to talk about the difference between high-intensity training, cardio, high-intensity interval training, versus low-intensity steady-state cardio. or I like to just call that steady state. So the difference between the two, because there's a massive difference. And before I dive into this, you guys, I really, 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 really want to embed this into your brain, that cardio should only be a tool used to aid in fat loss, and it is not a necessity. I know so many of you guys are cardio bunnies or have been cardio bunnies in previous years before joining WarriorBabe, or you heavily do marathons or triathlons or you're endurance athletes. Look, I need to get my point across to you that if you are continually training with these endurance training style things like marathoning or cycling or doing 3-hour bike rides and 5-hour hikes, and you're neglecting your nutrition, you need to understand that the effects of what too many calories out during that expenditure that you're doing biking and hiking with poor nutrition or not eating enough is going to do to your body. You are literally, it's counterproductive to the results that you are seeking with building muscle and getting toned. All right, if you want to continue doing that, like you love it, I'm not saying to eliminate it, like I'm so all about like meeting your lifestyle, but you need to understand that keeping in that amount of cardio and not eating enough is going to be detrimental to your goals. Like you need to either pick one, right? Like you need to understand the importance of eating enough food when you're doing that kind of endurance. So you would be eating a shit ton of food. One of my VIP babes right now is eating 2,300 calories because she's training for a marathon. Like that's a lot of food because she's putting out basically, like she's running with 20-mile runs. She's putting out like 2,000 calories. So to meet her demand, she gets a cheat meal on long runs, and I need her to have a higher caloric range during the week so that she has energy, she can run, she can do all this kind of stuff. There are far too many people that I've coached who do not listen to me or the women that I coach in this aspect, and they disregard us on eating enough food while they're doing this endurance stuff, and then they're going to the doctors and their thyroids are off, their cholesterol or their cortisol's through the roof, and all of these hormones are out of whack. Why? Because you're running your body into the fucking ground doing all of this endurance stuff and not backing it with proper nutrition. You see, I get a little feisty with that one. It's for real because so many women think that cardio is a tool in changing your body composition, and I need to do more cardio, and please give me more cardio, right? No. Cardio should only be a tool. Cardio is only a tool used to aid in fat loss. It is not a necessity. Just need to get my point across and understand that if you are putting out too much and you're not eating enough, man, you are just throwing your body fucking into a whirlwind. All right, so that's point number one. Now let's talk about the difference between these high-intensity training, HIIT versus LISS, which is low-intensity, steady-state cardio. The massive difference between the two, first of all, there's 2 pointers here. The massive difference is, number one, HIIT obviously involves short bursts with high effort, followed by lower effort rest intervals. Low-intensity steady state involves constant effort at a steady pace for an allotted amount of time. Okay? Now, this one, low-intensity steady state forces the body to use fat as its main source of fuel for the workout. High-intensity HIIT, due to its intensity, will use glycogen, or AKA carbohydrates, as its main source of fuel, which this source of energy is also used for your workouts. You guys use carbs for your workouts. So if you are completely depleted after a lift, high-intensity training may be counterproductive, and why I personally recommend and like low-intensity steady state way better. Okay, because you do see what I'm trying to get my point across here. Your lifting session utilizes carbohydrates. You're depleting that store. So then basically switch gears and put your body into fat burning mode when you do low intensity, steady state cardio. And you know what? I hear so many women saying, I fucking hate cardio, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But you know what? It's a really key tool. Like, it really can help aid in the fat loss that you are seeking. Not a necessity, but it can aid in it because of that shift in energy in the shifting gears with how the body forces to use fat as its main source of fuel, and your lifting session uses carbohydrates. Okay, that's again why I personally recommend low intensity steady state cardio. If you think about it, the body again uses carbs for your workouts, then fat for your cardio. It's like a win-win and brings about the results wanted. So that's the difference between the two. I need you guys to fully grasp that difference, okay? And once you grasp it, once you understand it, you're more likely in tune to hear me out on the next things that I recommend, and you're more likely to follow through with the things that I personally recommend for you. So next question comes into play, which is best for your body and your lifestyle? So I'm not saying you need a mixed HIIT or you need to stop doing, steady state cardio or do either or, but understand this perspective and it's going to blow your mind. Steady state cardio, slow and steady, it takes longer time to finish. Yes. It's easy to do. Yes. But most importantly, it puts minimal stress on your body. High intensity training, this adds a lot of stress to the body, and this is extremely hard to finish, especially if it's done correctly. But it takes a shorter amount of time to complete, so this is why a lot of people love doing it. But let me put this into perspective. Can you imagine if somebody isn't eating enough food, isn't eating enough to fuel their body, and they're doing tons of HIIT? This is why I don't personally recommend HIIT, especially if you're not keen and consistent on your macronutrient game, because you're just burning through carbohydrates that your body probably doesn't even have. And then you're going to tap into muscle mass and lose definition. I literally just had this conversation with somebody on the Blueprint call where she was like, I've been doing 5 days of HIIT, and I feel great, and it helps me with my stress, but I'm starving, and my muscle definition is starting to lose itself. And I'm like, yeah, I bet it is, because you're doing this, so and then I helped her understand, okay, why don't we give you more carbohydrates if this is your major point of focus that you love doing HIIT training. I'm going to give you more carbs, and it's going to be more efficient. You're going to feel great. You're not going to be hungry, and you're going to be getting the results that you want. That's why I love my Blueprint program, because it's way more personalized, and I get to chat with you about the specifics of what you're going through. Like, literally can unmute you and discuss the questions that you have. So if you guys have any questions about learning and wanting to know what the Blueprint is, go to WarriorBabe.com, go to the programs, click on Blueprint, and go and schedule a call with my team to chat about how you can follow through with the goals that you want to accomplish for yourself. Anyway, side topic. So, HIIT adds a lot of stress to the body. Takes short time to complete, but it adds a lot of stress. So, can you guys imagine if you guys are already, stressed throughout the day, and your cortisol levels are through the roof, especially with the things that are going on in this world. You've got stressful work or a stressful home or whatever. And then you're doing this HIIT, you're just adding way more stress to your body. And then when stress is elevated, cortisol rises, and cortisol is a fat-storing hormone, which just makes your body look more inflamed. Okay? So I personally, for people, I personally recommend low-intensity, steady state. It's just healthier for your body. You're tapping into fat stores to burn off, which, if you want to decrease your body fat, that should be the primary focus anyway. And you get to eat more carbohydrates. Like, you get to fuel your body properly and put the carbohydrates to your lifts, which carbohydrates are going to help build muscle. Whereas, HIIT, you got absolutely do, but you got to watch it with it, right? If it's not for you if you're high stress, and it's not for you if you're not eating enough. All right, now let's talk about the body types when it comes to cardio, because this is really important. Ectos, you guys, you skinny babes, you don't need to be doing cardio at all. You seriously do not need to be doing cardio. You need to be fucking eating. My girl Madeline is a perfect example. She's an ecto body type. she's not doing any cardio, and she's going into prepping she's peak week right now for stepping on stage next week. And she's in the 300 carb club, reversing into show right now, and eating 300 grams of carbs and no cardio, because that body type needs to eat. They don't need to be doing any cardio at all. Now, if we are to implement it, right? If Ectos at some point, can implement it maybe 1 to 2 days a week, you guys best do with doing both. You can get away with doing low intensity steady state, or you can get away with doing HIIT, because if you're eating enough carbohydrates, right, majority of those women can eat a shit ton of food. You're up in the 250, 280, 300 carb club. You can be doing HIIT. All right, so that body type can really go either way, but I would personally recommend low steady state cardio. Mesos also work well with either low steady state or HIIT. I personally recommend, though, like for an example, like mesos do like 3 days of low steady state and then maybe 1 day of HIIT. And then endos, this is where LISS, the steady state, is preferred due to the stress the body has already experienced with nutrition and that added weight, and cortisol is already high. That body type should 110% be doing steady state cardio. So then the last thing that I want to talk about with you guys right now is, when should this cardio be performed? When is optimal? When should I be doing it? So really, whichever works best for you, right? With one rule to follow, you just want to be in a fasted state. You just want to be on an empty stomach. So the best primal optimal time to do cardio is immediately following your workout, right? You've depleted your carb stores. Now you're going into fasted mode. You're on an empty stomach, basically, and your body's going to tap into fat for fuel for that steady state cardio. Another time to do it is if you're like, I just want to get my cardio out of the way, and then I can go back and do lifting later on. Get your cardio done on an empty stomach in the morning, first thing in the morning. You're on an empty stomach, you're depleted, your body's going to turn for fat for fuel. And then the last time that I would recommend, but this is like last resort, is if, say, you lift in the morning and you can't get your cardio done at that time, then you got to do it in the afternoon. You just want to make sure that cardio, when it comes to afternoon time, is that, is right before your next meal. So you want to make sure that you're, again, in an empty stomach, kind of somewhat fasted state. Right before you're about to eat your next meal, you would go and do like your 30 minutes of cardio. All right, guys, so again, just chatting about the difference between high-intensity training, high-intensity strength training, HIIT cardio and steady state cardio, how steady state uses fat as its main source of fuel for your workout. HIIT, due to its intensity, uses carbohydrates as its main source of fuel. I personally recommend steady state because you're using carbohydrates for your lift, and then your body can switch to fat burning mode for your steady state cardio. Whatever best works for your lifestyle, though, I totally get it. If you want to get in and get it done, you can do HIIT, but you just got to make sure that you are nutritionally on point, that your macros are on point. And if you're doing too much HIIT and your carbohydrates are low and you're feeling depleted and tired, that should be a signal for you to be like, okay, I'm going to switch some HIIT days to do some steady state days. Yes, it takes longer to finish some steady state. It's easy to do, but it puts minimal stress on the body. All right, HIIT can add a lot of stress. I guarantee you, if you guys just make this switch, what a significant difference you will see. And then ectos don't need cardio, but they can do fine with both sources. Mesos can do fine with both sources, and endos is really the only one that it comes down to that steady state is preferred. Best time to do cardio after your lift is optimal. You can do it morning fasted on an empty stomach, or you can do it in the afternoon right before your next meal. All right, guys, and on my way out here, cardio should only be used as a tool. All right, it's a tool used to aid in fat loss. It is not a necessity. You can put yourself into a fine deficit with just being on the proper macronutrient breakdown. All right, guys, and if you do want to learn more about the blueprint, just head up to the WarriorBabe.com and click on products and click on the blueprint, and I'll give you a little bit more insight as to what it is. So check it out. All right, guys, let me know how you enjoyed this rally call in the Facebook group. hopefully it was super helpful, and hopefully there was a lot of light bulbs that were going off. And I will chat with you guys. You guys remember Wednesday at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is when our Q&A is, so make sure you guys show up on time for that. Time change, again, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. All right, guys, have a good start to your week. Start strong, finish strong. You guys are warrior babes. No excuses. Let's go. Bye, everybody.